The wind carved through the ravine like a whispering ghost, threading between jagged rocks and sun-drenched cliffs that had stood for millennia. Somewhere below, where the green canopy met the shadows, the earth held secrets, silent and unyielding. It had been 6 days since Jay Slater vanished. The 2,000-foot gorge near the village of Masca, Tenerife, had never been known for mercy. Locals avoided its heart, citing tales older than memory, tales of people who went in and never returned. But to the team of searchers, it was simply the last known location. The place Jay's phone had last pinged. The place where his voice had last been heard. "I'm lost. I think I'm near some sort of drop. I can't see a road." The recording still chilled those who heard it, not because of what was said but how it was said. Jay had sounded disoriented. Scared but not panicked. There was a strange calmness in his voice, like he was watching something no one else could see. The search party, now bolstered by a dozen volunteers and a chopper team, pressed deeper into the ravine. The helicopter's rotors roared overhead, sending gusts of dust and pine needles into the air. Cameras attached to its underbelly scanned the terrain with thermal imaging, but so far, nothing. Detective Elena Morales stood at the edge of a sharp outcrop, binoculars pressed to her eyes. Her partner, Tomas, approached behind her, wiping sweat from his forehead. "Still nothing from the air?" he asked. She shook her head. "Nothing human. Birds. A fox. Heat blooms from the rocks, but no body, no movement, no Jay." Tomas glanced toward the drop. It's like he disappeared into smoke. But Elena wasn't ready to give up. Something about this case felt different. Jay's friends had described him as adventurous, a little reckless, but not stupid. The hike he'd taken wasn't just random. It followed an old trail. One not marked on tourist maps. One the locals called La Boca del Silencio, the mouth of silence. The name lingered in her thoughts. They decided to descend. With ropes, climbing gear, and hearts pounding in cautious rhythm, Elena and Tomas joined the elite mountaineering team moving into the ravine's belly. The chopper circled above them like a watchful hawk, keeping contact but unable to penetrate the thicket below. As the sunlight dimmed beneath the rock walls, something shifted. The air grew heavier, almost muffled. Birds fell silent. Even the wind seemed reluctant to speak. And then they found it. Jay's backpack. Half buried near a crevice, it looked almost placed. Not fallen. Not tossed. Inside were a cracked phone, an energy bar wrapper, and his wallet, cash still intact. But the phone was turned off. Battery drained, yes, but its last recorded photo showed something none of them expected. A stone archway, moss-covered, nestled between 2 steep cliffs. But there was no archway on any map. No such formation in any of the drone footage. "What is this?" Tomas whispered, peering over Elena's shoulder. She didn't answer. She was already walking toward the narrowing gorge ahead, toward the place the photo might have been taken. The others followed, their footsteps quiet. They found the arch just past a bend in the trail, exactly as it appeared in the photo. It looked ancient, like a forgotten doorway carved into the rock. Ferns crept along its edges, and strange symbols, etched faintly in the stone, ran along the keystone. Not Spanish. Not Latin. Something older. Suddenly, a gust of wind burst through the arch, chilling them all. And then came a sound. A laugh. High, fleeting, and echoing impossibly in the still air. It was Jay's voice. "Jay." Elena called out, heart racing. No reply. But a shadow moved beyond the arch quick. Humanoid. Then gone. "Did you see that?" someone said behind her. "I did," Elena said. "He's alive." They passed under the arch, and everything changed. The ravine beyond felt deeper, more surreal. Colors muted, as if washed in dreamlight. The sun above looked strange, too pale, too round. And then they saw him. Jay stood near a pool of still water, staring into it. His clothes were torn, his shoes muddied, but his body seemed unharmed. He didn't react as they approached. "Elena," Tomas said, "something's wrong. Look at his eyes." They were vacant. Not glassy with trauma, but hollow, like he was listening to something none of them could hear. Elena knelt beside him. "Jay? It's okay. We're here. You're safe." He blinked. Slowly. Turned to face her. "It doesn't want me to leave," he whispered. "What doesn't?" He didn't answer. Instead, he pointed to the water. "It lives down there." In the silence. A ripple crossed the surface of the pool. One of the volunteers, a young woman named Carla, stepped forward. "This is madness. We need to airlift him now." But as she stepped near the water, the ground shifted. Cracked. Like something stirred beneath. "No!" Jay shouted, lunging to pull her back. "It's listening." And then came the roar. A deep, ancient sound that shook the rocks. The team scrambled, grabbing Jay, retreating from the pool and the archway. Behind them, the ravine groaned as if the mountain itself was awakening. Back under the helicopter's eye, the air felt normal again. Jay, now trembling, began to speak in broken phrases, about whispers that spoke in riddles, dreams he couldn't wake from, and something waiting beneath the earth. They called it a rescue. But Elena wasn't sure. Because when Jay's phone was examined again, a new video had appeared. Time-stamped while he was missing. It showed the archway, but from inside, facing out. And in the background, standing perfectly still, was Elena. Even though she had never gone in until today. She doesn't sleep much now. Not after what Jay told her on the flight home. "It said you would come. You're part of it too." And sometimes, when she's alone, Elena dreams of the ravine. And in her dreams, she can still hear the wind whisper her name.